I'm saying? If you believe, well, okay, I mean, the B is secure, okay, then I have to come to class. Don't come. I don't care. That's what I'm saying. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to share my knowledge in financial application in business analytics. Okay? If you believe, well, B is secure, I don't need any more than that, then I don't mind. You stop coming to class. Don't you see that I don't even check? Okay? I don't call it roll. You see what I'm saying? You are a graduate student, so you have to have your own self-imposed, okay, very disciplined enough, okay, good control on yourself. So try to learn something. Okay? Try to learn something. And my job is to reward you for your effort. Okay? I wish I could offer you even better than A plus or A triple, okay? Things like that. Unfortunately, either A or B. So do your best. Okay? Do your best to secure an A in this class. Okay? Back to the example I was using until last week. I'm planning to open my garage-based workstation where I'll be producing this kind of thing. Okay? For which I need $100,000. I have only $50,000 available in my pocket. So I'd like to borrow $50,000 from my rich student. So I call Jessica first, presenting to her my idea. I'd like to borrow your money, $10,000. And Jessica said, well, Dr. John, I was about to take this $1,000 extra money I had to my bank, and I was offered 5% interest. She is implicitly asking me to reward her lending her money, $10,000 to me, with at least 5% interest, isn't it? So I said, okay, rest assured, I'll give you even 1% more, 6%. So she's happy, right? Why? She is now offered 1% higher than the rate she was going to make, right? She's happy, and I'm happy too. Why? According to my estimation of profitability of this project is as high as 20%. So I'll get very happy to give up 6% out of 20%. Still, I end up with remaining 14%. Percentage-wise profitability remaining for me, right? So it's very worth it. So I made a deal with Jessica Rimmer as a lender, as an investor. In what? In this project, right? Who are the investors in this project? And Jung Corporation. Do you understand? And then she demands, that I put everything, all these terms and conditions of this business transaction, like call it contract, in a paper. So I, produce a paper, and I just give it to her. That paper is called security, issued by borrowing firm M. Jung Corporation. Do you understand? So you are nothing but lender, I'm nothing but borrower. This borrower happened to take the corporation. That's why it's called corporate borrowing or corporate borrower. This corporate borrower, M. Jung Corporation, could borrow her money, $10,000 at 6% cost. Why? She requires 6% return, isn't it? So required rate is 6%, now taken by the other party as cost of borrowing her money, right? Required rate of return of investor is same as cost of capital. Do you understand? For the other party. We are talking the same coin. She takes face side, calling it required rate of return. Same 6% coin, viewed from the other side, borrower, is called cost of capital, isn't it? That is, do you believe you can borrow money at zero cost? Borrowing money is not free, right? That is called cost of capital. Cost of borrowed capital. That is nothing but required rate of return. Do you understand? So as a corporation, do you believe I can borrow by issuing just a bond? I like to borrow, say, $20,000, okay, from Mandy. And she says, oh, Dr. I was about to invest this, okay, in Chesapeake stock in the morning. And then I expect to make 10% return on that stock investment. So I say, well, why don't you invest in Jung Corporation issued stock? Instead, why don't you buy my stock instead of Chesapeake stock? Do you understand? So she said, well, Jung Corporation a lot smaller than Chesapeake, a lot riskier. So you should be willing to offer me higher than 10%? Sure. I offer 13%. And you said, deal. Then I could borrow stock investor or the other form of lender's money, $20,000 at her required cost, 13%. Do you understand? Her required rate of 13% construed by me, the other party, borrower, as cost of borrowing her fund. Make sense to you? So likewise, yes, as a corporation, you can think of borrowing by issuing bond, by issuing preferred stock, by issuing common stock, isn't it? Do you understand? So there are three different sources of external capital. Correct? That's what we're talking about. We are talking about, everybody by now, they should be familiar with this, okay? I mean, the T account, here, asset and debt and equity. Do you remember this? I keep drawing this, right? This debt we are talking about, okay? Example, current liabilities of not counted. We are talking about just long-term debt. Long-term debt, and in between we have a preferred stock and equity, here the common stock. You understand? So each, we have three components. Component 1, component 2, and component 3. You understand? And each component has its own different cost. You understand? Now, everybody understood cost of capital is the same as required rate of return, right? Now, between bond and common stock, which one has a higher return? Stock. Therefore, in case I like to borrow money by issuing stock, I should be willing to incur higher cost of borrowing, isn't it? Cost of capital for stock higher than cost of borrowing by issuing bond, isn't it? That's called cost of debt. Bond is the debt instrument, isn't it? That's the cost of debt. Cost of preferred stock and cost of equity. So overall cost, really the cost of capital from the investor required return and the firm's financial policy. And it's a function of risk and it is. And there are these three different components. Debt, preferred stock, that means a long-term debt. Okay? Preferred, long-term debt means a bond and preferred stock and equity. That's a mix. And look at this. This cost of capital serves as a benchmark for investment decision and performance evaluation. So for this project, I borrow like that, okay? 20% of the money I need from Jessica, 40% of money I need from Mandy, and remaining 20, 40, 60. So remaining 40%, okay, from JJ by issuing preferred stock for him because he likes to invest in Jung Corporation preferred stock. You understand? So, on my part as the borrower, since I borrow money from different sources of capital, issuing different securities, each security costing me differently, right? Cost different, isn't it? Therefore, I have to be able to combine those to figure out on average at what cost I am borrowing for this project, isn't it? That is called the weighted average cost of capital, WACC. You understand? So WACC is, so all this, okay, cost of capital is geared towards computing this thing, WACC, weighted average cost of capital is, look at this, WD times KD. KD, water minus tax rate, plus WPS times KPS, plus the WCS times KCS. In our book, they go by R or K. They go by K, right? So, where WD plus the WPS plus the WCS, 1. But this is a weight. 20%, 40%, and 40%. Weight, W for weight. And KD is before tax cost of debt. That is required rate of return on a bond or the YTN. And KPS is cost of preferred stock. And KCS is cost of common stock. Or simply cost of equity. You understand? So, you can see that you have to find cost of debt, cost of preferred stock, and cost of common stock. Isn't it? There's component of cost, isn't it? Then, that will be it. That's what we are going to learn from this class. Now, then, after you find each component of cost, you combine them into this average called WACC. Let's say, okay, back to my example. On average, I could borrow, on average, at 11.2%. 11.2% is weighted average of 3 different costs. Jessica required 6%, Mandy required 13%, and JJ requires 10%. So combined average is 11.5%. That is my Jung Corporation's overall or average cost of capital compared to profitability of this project, which is 20%. Still, I ended with what? Remaining 8.5% net percentage-wise profit, isn't it? Therefore, I'm going to accept this project. So, finding WACC and using it for investment decision is key. So, chapter 11 and chapter 12 are combined each other. They are not separate from each other. We learn how to find basic cost for whatever project, company, okay, is planning. You understand? And then they want to compare that overall cost of borrowing money with independent or different project profitability. And then you make a call whether this project is good or bad. If project A profitability 20%, then sure, you're going to accept this project. You understand? Because profitability way exceeds 11.5%. What if different project B, say profitability is 10%, then you better not accept it, isn't it? So that is what is meant by here. Serves as a benchmark for investment decision. Okay? We are going to learn in next chapter, 12. And then whenever, okay, in my example, 8.5% net profitability, that is called economic value added. So by accepting those good-looking projects whose profitability exceed WACC, yes, you can increase your firm's value because your firm's value rise because you will enjoy this kind of EVA, economic value added. Good investment should earn a return higher than cost of capital. That makes sense, right? And taxes and transaction costs. These are small things that probably make your calculation of this just a little bit complicated. But as long as you just, okay, try to be more careful, then yes, okay, you can steer out calculation of this quite correctly. So tax here, okay, tax is symbol here. And transition cost. Transition cost is normally a flotation cost. Flotation cost, you have to understand this. Flotation costs are costs associated with issuing securities. Okay. So we are going to learn one by one. Now, everybody turn to, okay, let's visit this one. Okay. Let's see where is. Let's visit this exhibit, then you can understand easily. Everybody turn to let's check the worksheet. You can have this one. Okay, everybody turn to table 11.1. We don't have the exhibit on PowerPoint, I'm on this Excel, so let's use a text form, page 322. Appropriate hurdle rate. Do you see that? On page, it is titled to be the appropriate hurdle rate. WACC or cost of capital in general are nothing but appropriate hurdle rate. What is a hurdle? You know what the hurdle rate is?
Something to get over.
Yeah, get over it. Okay? Get over a hurdle, right? If you cannot run high or jumping high the hurdle, then you'll be caught by that and you just lose the race. Hurdle. So for any project to be accepted, it's like winning the race so that this project be undertaken. To do that, this project is like kind of, racer, hurdle racer. So it just run with its profitability 20%. And hurdle is 11.5%. So yes, it can jump a lot higher than 11.5 hurdle. So it's very clear. Then this project is accepted and undertaken. Do you understand? So for any project, yes, company takes these firms WACC as hurdle rate. So you have to find appropriate hurdle rate for different companies. In general, which company would have a higher hurdle rate? Riskier firm or less risky firm?
Riskier?
Riskier firm. Small company or large size company? Which one will have higher hurdle rate or higher WACC? Small. Smaller, yes, that's right. Cost of capital is a function of risk. Isn't it? Okay. All right. Page 322. Okay, let's just visit that in table 11.1. This is a manager of a Rocky Mountain Motors. Right above that, at the table 11.1, there is a description of the RMM, this name of company, considering purchase of a new tract of land. That is what they like to invest in. They will be held for 1 year. The price of the land is $10,000. RMM's current capital structure is 40% debt, 10% preferred stock, and 50% common equity. Underline that. 40, 10, 50. That is how their capital structure is, right? Right now, current capital structure, that is financing mix. Right hand side of the balance sheet is, okay, debt, preferred stock, and equity, common stock. This is the common stock. Percentage-wise, this is a 10, and this is a 40%, and common stock 50%, isn't it? No, that is 40%. That is 40%. Yeah, this is 40%, and preferred stock is 10%. Right? So right now, okay, look at yourself personally. What is your personal capital structure right now? How much debt you have and how much equity do you have? What is your total asset value? Everything you own. Let's say you have 100,000. Okay, that is asset value of your company, value of you as a person. And your personal debt is how much? You have 40,000 debt, including your student loan and some mortgage debt like that. Then your equity portion is 60,000, right? Then we say capital structure of this person is 40% debt. There's a WD, and this is the WCS, cost of equity, or weight of or proportion of equity financing is 60%. Do you understand? So company tend to follow, okay, this kind of optimal capital structure. Different company have a different mix. Some company have large amount of debt, okay, with a small amount of equity, while other companies, they tend to minimize the use of debt financing. Then this ratio will be small, while equity portion will be large, isn't it? So different companies in different industries all have a different mix. That is what we mean by this weight. You understand? So different companies have a different optimal capital structure. That's what they follow. When they compute WACC, they always have kind of, okay, what would be best for us? What would be the most optimum, okay, mix of these different sources of capital? We can see clearly, okay, that is cheapest source of capital, isn't it? Required return on debt is a lot lower than preferred stock or common stock. So you should prefer to borrow by issuing bond, isn't it? Because that is, okay, lowest cost-wise. However, if you keep borrowing by issuing bond, what happens to your risk? Financial risk increases, isn't it? And people in the market will see that your company keep increasing that portion, then they wonder, well, this company is making large enough operating income so that they can service the debt. Maybe they are getting too risky. Do you understand? I'm talking about such financial risk, right? So you have to, okay, have in your mind, okay, what would be maximum mix of this? We won't be able to reach kind of last the chapter where capital structure theory is covered. But I keep saying, without explaining to you, the optimal capital structure, I keep saying that. What is the implication of that adjective optimal? What is the ultimate goal of financial management? What is the ultimate goal of a company itself? What is the goal of firm?
Profit.
Make money.
Maximize value, isn't it? Make profit. Correct? To make profit, do you have to borrow at the highest possible cost or lowest possible cost? Lowest. Cost minimization can amount to value maximization. Do you understand that? They are interrelated. Okay? So optimal cost of capital is the particular mix at which they believe firm's value, firm's value will be at highest possible. You understand? So value-wise, highest. Cost-wise, lowest. That is WACC. That's what we're talking about here. All right. So, okay, looking at table 11.1 one more time. Funding for this, okay, investment decision, okay, purchasing land, okay, 10,000, that is the price of that. So debt 4,000 and preferred stock 1,000, common stock 5,000. They have to borrow money like that. Do you understand? Total money they need 10,000. However, they follow this 4-1-5 as optimal mix. So if they borrow 4,000 by issuing debt instruments, say bond, knowing that it's not free to borrow 4,000, right? You have to estimate cost of borrowing 4,000 by issuing debt instrument. That cost of debt in this example is 7%. Do you see that? It's like, okay, what Jessica requires, 6%. Okay? Cost of capital, cost of this first component, okay? Debt capital, 7%. So money-wise, $280. That is interest. And to be able to borrow as much as 1,000 by issuing preferred stock, what's the cost of preferred stock? 10%. Do you see that? Therefore, money-wise, $100. And remaining 5,000 by issuing common stock. However, you have to make that lender who invests in your common stock, okay, who requires 12% on you. Therefore, yes, money-wise, $600, isn't it? That is dollar-wise cost on you. Do you understand? Therefore, total dollar-wise cost is $980. You see that? And percentage-wise, 7, 10, 12. But on average, 9.8. How you compute 9.8? That is 7% times what is the weight? What is the weight of debt financing? What is the fraction of debt financing?
1%.
0.4, isn't it? 40%, isn't it? Therefore, 7 times 0.4 plus 10 times, what is the proportion or fraction of preferred stock financing?
10%.
10%. Therefore, 10% times 0.10, do you understand? Plus 12% times 0.5. Is it 9.8? Everybody verify that for me, please. It should be, otherwise there must be typo error.
So times 40. 10 times 10, 12 times 5.
Is it 9.8%?
Yep.
Now you understand what is meant by WACC, right? This just weight the average. How you weight? Multiplying component cost by its fraction or proportion. Do you understand? Some of this proportion or fraction must be 1, isn't it? Because they are weights. In this example, this is 40% 0.4, 10% 0.10, and remaining equity financing 0.5. Multiply each to its own component cost, you find overall average. That is called WACC. So far, okay, when you compute present value in previous chapter, were we not given discount rate, K or R? That is actually WACC. This firm's cost of capital or discount rate, this is the discount rate because you are going to discount, expect the cash flow of this company at this. That is appropriate hurdle rate, discount rate. So now you see that hurdle rate is again just a joining array of those terms. Discount rate and required rate of return, they're all same rate used to compute present value, isn't it? Now, in table 11.2, now, this is a scenario, okay? Investment, the result of, okay, this investment turning out to be like this, 9.8%, 8%, or 11%. That's return. There are three, okay, possible scenarios. 8% is kind of failure, okay, worst case. 9.8, that is average, and 11% is better than expected. So we already figured in previous table 11.1, you can borrow on average at 9.8%, isn't it? Correct? That is what we just found, isn't it? So on out of your investment that actually use this money you borrow at this 9.8%, right? You must do hard work to maximize rate of return on this project, right? However, result-wise, 8% failure, 9.8 marginal success or break even, and 11% success, isn't it? There are three possible, a scenario of the result of this investment decision. So at 9.8%, let's begin with the middle, call it 9.8%. That is what? Your rate of return you made on this project exactly match after average, WAC is 9.8%, isn't it? Then, with the money you used, 10,000, how much money you end up with? 10,000 times 1 plus 0.098, therefore $10,980, isn't it? That is money-wise result of your investment decision, isn't it? You borrow 10,000 and then you use it on this land, and then you ended up after 1 year, this amount, 10,980. Do you understand? Then this 10,980 must be distributed to these three different people from whom you borrow the money, is it? Now, out of 10,980, how much money you have to pay to debt holder or bond investor? At what cost could you borrow $4,000 debt capital? How much money could you borrow by issuing debt capital? Debt instrument.
40% of the 10,980.
How much money could you borrow by issuing debt instrument for this RMM, land project? Look at table 11.1.
4,000.
4,000, isn't it? You borrow 4,000, right? That $4,000 borrowed by issuing debt instrument. And what rate of return did you promise? Or at what cost could you borrow that amount?
7%.
How much?
7%.
7%. Therefore, to that individual from whom you borrow 4,000, how much money you have to return?
4,280.
That's right, 4,000 times 1.07, isn't it? Because that is what is required by the individual, isn't it? There's a meaning of 7% cost of debt. Do you understand? Therefore, 4,280 must be given to bondholder, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Do you now understand table 11.2? Okay, what about, to preferred stock investor? How much money you borrow? 1,000. However, that 1,000 was borrowed at what cost?
10%.
10%. Therefore, you have to
Pay them 1,100 back.
give back 1,100. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, from the third source of capital, common stock holder, how much money could you borrow? 5,000 at what cost?
12%.
12%. Therefore, what amount of money do you have to return?
56.
5,600. Do you understand? Therefore, sum of three just equal 10,980, right? So you just broke even, isn't it? Isn't it? However, if you make 11% return, now total money you made is how much?
11,100.
11,100. 10,000 times 1.11. Is it 11,100? Isn't it? Out of that money, how much money did you give to bondholder?
4,280.
4,280. How much money did you give to preferred stockholder?
1,100.
1,100. Therefore, remaining goes to shareholder, which is what? 57.20, right? Isn't it? However, stockholder requires only 12%, but don't you see that shareholders got happy because they ended with making higher than 12% return, right? What return did you end up with? they received 5,720 instead of 5,600, isn't it? Therefore, percentage-wise, what? 5,720 divided by 5,000 minus 1. What is it? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Common stockholder require 12%, but they made, okay, they end up with what? $120 more than they require, isn't it? Isn't it? There's percentage of 2.4% higher, therefore 14.4%, okay, they end up with. Do you understand? That's why shareholders get happier. Who is the owner of the company? Shareholder, isn't it? Shareholder ended up with 2%, 4% higher than they require, isn't it? Therefore, you got a value added, value increase. What about the third scenario, 8%? This is the case of failure, isn't it? They should be able to make 9.8%, isn't it? However, they end up with making only 8%, isn't it? Are you going to say, since we ended up with 8% profit, even 1%, 8% lower than overall required cost of capital, are you going to call Jessica Rimmer, bondholder, and beg her, beg her for kind of mercy? We failed to make 9.8%, so please give me break. Don't require me 7%, just give me 5%. Do you think you can do that? Whenever you borrow money by issuing bond, year to maturity, just the same, and you are obligated to pay as promised the coupon interest, right? Cost of capital, 7% for bond, still holds, isn't it? Therefore, still, you have to pay 40 to 80. Do you see that? To bondholder, because percentage-wise, 7% still holds, isn't it? What about preferred stock? Same, 1,100, isn't it? So after paying 40 to 80 to bondholder, 1,100 to preferred stockholder, how much money left? 54.20, isn't it? Could they meet minimum 12% for stockholder? No, shorter, isn't it? Do you understand what's going on here? Preferred stock, cost of preferred stock, and bondholder, preferred stock is like a debt. So depending upon compared to overall cost WACC, what profitability you could accomplish with kind of a different project. Yes, your firm's value may rise, EVA rise plus, or your firm's value may decline. Do you understand that? So now you can see how important it is to minimize cost, plus simultaneously how important it is for you as a manager to find good project, isn't it? That's what makes a huge difference. In managerial market, some are well paid, president or boss, while some even can't find a job at all. Why? They have different reputation. If you have a good business background, you have a good inside understanding of business management, yes, you have kind of it's called the business acumen plus this kind of professional and acumen knowledge that'll help you become really successful, good manager who will never miss a good project. Doing at the same time good job to minimize WACC so that yes, he maximizes value of stock. That's why he get promotion and then he can find even better job. Now everybody turn to page 323, equation 11.1. Do you see any difference between this and what I wrote on the board? It's simply weighted average. Okay? Okay. So on the following page of 324, on the very top, third line, you already found out of your own calculation 9.8% WACC, right? You found that. Okay? So what is the weight for this project RMM? What is the weight? 0.4, 0.1, and 0.5, isn't it? Do you see that table 11.3? 40%, 10%, and 50%. And money-wise, 400,000, 100,000, and 500,000 in case you like to borrow in total $1 million. Do you understand? They do finance, or they just implement their financing effort following this optimum capital structure. That is 0.4, 0.1, 0.5. You understand? Because with this mix, 40% debt financing, 10% preferred stock, and 50% common stock, they believe fund value will be maximized. Okay? Now, where do we have this one? Okay, so this is exhibit 10.1. Where's exhibit 10.1? Okay, all right. Still, this one doesn't have table. Okay, so let's look at page 325. Okay, table 11.4. This is look like this instructions manual don't cover those tables, only exhibit. Okay, table 11.4. Calculation of a market value weight for RMM. Okay, price per unit 904.53. Where does it come from? Right now, this company, they are trying to be more specific now. This company, RMM, issued 3 different securities. First one is what? Bond, right? Debt instrument. Debt instrument and bond, the same thing. Okay? Even if I use those two terms interchangeably, don't be confused, okay? Long-term bond, same as the debt instrument. Is selling in the market or is trading in the market at 904.53. That is the market price of this company RMM's bond. And how many bonds are there? 400 units. Do you understand? Therefore, total market value of this long-term debt instrument or debt financing is what? 904.53 times 400. Is it 361,812? Everybody verify using calculator or Excel spreadsheet. 361,812? It should be.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Right now, this company issued preferred stock in the market, preferred stock market, is trading at $100 per preferred stock. All right, and how many preferred stocks are there, or how many preferred stocks are outstanding? That is 1,000 units, isn't it? Therefore, 100 times 1,000. Therefore, total market value of this company, RMM issued preferred stock, should be $100,000, correct? Okay. Now, what about common stock? Simply stock. Stock of this company RMM trading in the market at what price? $70. How many stocks outstanding right now?
10,000.
10,000. Therefore, what is the total market value of this company RMM issued common stock? 700,000, correct? Do you understand? Therefore, sum them up. Find the sum of those different securities, 3 different securities market value. Add them up. 361,812 plus 100,000 plus 700,000. Is it 1,161,812? Verify to make sure, okay, there's no type error in this book. Then, now be very careful. Out of in total market value of this company issued the 3 different securities: debt instrument, preferred stock, and common stock. total sum of the market value is 1,161,812, right? Out of which total market value of first component, debt, is what? 361,812, right? So percentage-wise, is it 31.14%? Verify the point, please. 361,812 divided by 1,161,812. Is it 0.3114?
Yes.
That is a WD. That is the weight of that funds, isn't it? Which is based on current market value, isn't it? What about preferred stock? 100,000 is a fraction of, what fraction of 1,161,812?
.61%.
Is it 8.61%? Cool. What about common stock? 60.25%?
Yep.
Okay. Therefore, after they figure this fraction of each component market value as a fraction of total market value, that is called WD, WP, WCS. Do you understand? So now going by that weight, they recalculate WACC again, that is 10.27%. That is more realistic, okay, overall cost of capital of this company, because that is based on actual market value. Do you understand? So now, by now, everybody understands clearly what's going on here, how we should compute WACC, right? That is nothing but this. WD, WPS, WCS is actually what you can find. That is based on current market, that's observable. Can you not find the stock price? Can you not find the current bond price? You can find any company issued preferred stock at what price it's selling. That is market price, isn't it? You just compute market value of that instrument, preferred stock, and common stock. And then sum them up. That is total market value. And then you find each W as a fraction of the total. And multiply that fraction by component cost. Different company have a different size of component cost. Okay? And then you can find the WACC. That is what we are going to do using Excel, and that's what you will be doing in your exam to compute WACC. Do you understand? Now, WACC calculation in Excel. Everybody, copy this one in your expression now. Now, can we start using Excel? Exhibit 11.1, that is actually on page 326. This is page 326 exhibit. Let me expand this a little. Or you can just look at your book and try to copy this, keeping the same cells and same columns and rows. Okay, have you all copied this? Now, put your cursor here, D2, and you now enter equation. Total market value is what? 904.53 times 400 units, isn't it? Therefore, equal sign B2 times C2, 361,812. Make sure you replace, okay, with your own formula now. And make sure, okay, that's exactly the same as what you copied. Do the same, okay, this one. You can copy this, D2 through this, D3 and D4, that is what? This 100 times 1,000. And 700,000 is 70 times 10,000, isn't it? And then put here in cell D5, sum D2, column D4. Is it 1,161,812? You understand? Make sure that you can perform this kind of set operation with no trouble at all whatsoever, okay? This is a basic Excel operation. Now, this one, column E is fraction, isn't it? Weight or fraction, that is what? 31.1, everybody knows that, okay? 31.14 should be 361,812 divided by 1,161,812, isn't it? So that is, okay, see if you have the same, okay? That is what? D2 over or divided by D5 after putting your cursor here. Is it 31.14%?
Yes.
This one is what? That is this one, D3 divided by this. You can copy that, okay, after locking this cell, because this D5 is used for all these three different cells, and this one 700,000 divided by 1,161,812, then 60.25%. And you can, if you want, you can put sum, or you can simply just total 100%. Now here, 10, 20, 7, 10, 12. That is not what you want on computer. Okay? Given this, you have to, okay, write this 7 and 10, 12%. That is as required by three different types of lenders for your company, right? So you just enter them as given. And then this one is key. This one is key. Put your cursor here. This is WCC, isn't it? How you compute that? That is what? 31.1%. So E2 times F2 plus E3 times F3 plus E4 times F4. That is this one, is it? Or you can do that, and new equation, Excel equation is, Excel function is on page 326, sum product. This one is, okay, Excel can compute, okay, a multiplication and summing, okay, covering two different columns simultaneously. That is sum product. If you want to get sum product for this one, that is E2, okay, E2 through E4, and F2, comma, F2 colon F4, and cross parentheses. Then you will find essentially the same result, 10.27%. So it's your freedom to go by, okay, that original set operation, or you can use this kind of sum product function. Whenever you have this kind of two function, okay, I mean, sum of cross product like that. Okay, this function comes very handy. Okay, all you need to do is just define these two cells, two columns. Then sum product means that they are computing. They are finding their compute multiplication. In other words, product, and then sum of those cross product. That is what sum product does for you. 10.27%. So now we learn how to compute weighted average using Excel spreadsheet. It's easy. Very easy, isn't it? A lot easier than previous chapter 10, isn't it? A lot easier. Now, let's start learning how we then compute this kind of thing. We haven't learned how to find component of the cost, isn't it? We took, when you compute 10.27%, we took 7, 10, 12 as given, right? However, in fact, you are supposed to compute it. Okay? So for this company, how you find the cost of first component, KD. I said KD is cost of debt is the return you have to satisfy when you try to borrow money from bond investor, right? To borrow money from first group of lender called the bond investor, you should have in your pocket papers called Jung Corporation issued bond, right? To sell to them, right? I like to sell this bond to you. Are you interested? Jessica, why don't you buy Jung Corporation's bond? 20-year maturity, 5% coupon, par value 1,000. Then she asked, how much do I have to pay for that? Oh, that's $9.50 market price. Then can you now find the rate called what? YTN? What is YTN? Rate of return you require, isn't it? Therefore, I have to take it as cost of borrowing bond investor money. Do you understand? Therefore, KD is the same as YTM for bond. Cost of debt is nothing but YTM. We already learned how to find YTM, right, in chapter 10, remember? Therefore, this chapter is not something new. This is already old material. We know how to find the KD. Only minor modification for this KD is not exactly the same as YTM though. Why? When bond price in the market is $9.50, right? I borrow just one, and by selling one bond issued by MJ Corporation to bond investor by the name of Jessica Rimmer, right? At price of $9.50, right? Now, in that simple transaction, how much money do I end up receiving from her or borrowing from her? Let's assume that she bought just one bond. I sell to her only one bond, and market determined the price of $9.50. And she found in Wall Street Journal year to maturity is say 5.7%. So she bought that. Okay. Now, money-wise, by selling that bond that has YTM 5.7%, how much money do I actually borrow from her? Or how much money she actually pays to me? $9.50, right? $9.50. That's the money she paid for, sure. However, me as a borrower, I received $9.50 from her, all right? However, out of the $9.50, don't you think I have to pay for the service of, number one, printing this bond and hiring investment banking firm who helped me market this bond? Or in case bond investors like some safety, then I buy insurance. What if this bond issued by this company, my company, not sold? Then I fail in this financing effort. Then I have to give up with a particular project for which I was planning to use that much money, right? In other words, I issued 100,000 of such bond, 950 times 100,000. Therefore, $95 million is the total money I like to raise for this huge investment project, isn't it? However, to be able to sell as many as 100,000 bonds, I need to hire professional companies, right? They are called what? investment banking firm whose job is help those borrowing firm issue, number one, right security to borrow money and advising good price at which they offer. All right, helping borrowing firm, okay, by creating good network of local brokers so that they can sell as fast as possible. In case, 100,000 bond issued, but even after 2 years it doesn't sell well, only 50%, then their financing fails, isn't it? Their bond price will stipulate. Okay? If that kind of news is known to the market, then bond price, which was initially 950, will precipitate. Okay, maybe, this bond is not selling. What's wrong with this company? There must be something wrong with this company itself, or the project itself is not good. That's why market is not interested in buying that bond. In other words, I end up with failure. Do you understand? It's a disaster, isn't it? Therefore, to avoid that kind of mishap, most of those corporate borrowers, they always hire investment banking firm as their professional help. For their service, yes, you have to pay a lot. And printing cost and mailing cost, and to be able to sell bond, don't you have to sell this kind of some prospectus? Prospectus is essentially it's kind of marketing device. Buy this bond. If you buy this bond, then in 10 years, yes, you will be very happy. Our company is growing, so this project for which we are planning to use this money, has this kind of good potential of growth like that. That's called prospect. Do you understand? So I'm talking about this thing, flotation cost. The cost associated with issuing and selling securities. Selling security means borrowing money, isn't it? Now, do you understand why selling security translates to borrowing money? Why a company issue and sell securities? To borrow money. Isn't it? Financing. And you call it, I invested in this company. I invested in this company issued bond. You are not just a lender. You lend your money. And security issue company, but just borrowing firm. Do you understand? Why do they borrow? Their corporate investment. Corporate level investment. Okay? So, back to the example, 950 is the market price of Jung Corporation issued bond. This company clearly received a 950 for one bond from this investor, bond investor. However, out of 950, I give up maybe 5% of that, maybe about the $40 or $47.5, for that kind of service. Printing cost, mailing cost, altogether, percentage-wise, 5%. That is called the flotation cost. So out of 950 I received from bond investor, how much do I give up? 5%. Therefore, I net out of 950 how much? 950 times 1 minus flotation cost, isn't it? Are you with me? That is called the net proceed, NP. Net proceed of a sale of securities. Okay? So that is, in case of the value of the bond, there's the market price of the bond, BBO. Let's go by P for price. Price of the bond times 1 minus flotation cost. F is flotation cost. Flotation cost is plural. Cost in percent. Percentage flotation cost. So, when you compute YTM, what did you enter? You enter what? PV in negative number, do you remember? Right? However, to compute KD, what do you have to enter? 950 or 950 times 1 minus 0.05. So called the net proceed. Net proceed should be entered, isn't it? Because that is the actual dollar amount that you could borrow, isn't it? Therefore, cost of capital for this debt instrument should be based on net proceed instead of market price. Do you understand? In case of borrowing money by issuing common stock, same thing. You have to hire Merrill Lynch, okay, to issue and sell your company, okay, issue the stock, okay, at highest possible price over shortest period of time, isn't it? You have no idea how to do that because you never issued stock ever before. That is the case, you first time issue stock. Your company now going public. Your company was founded 100 years ago by your great-grandfather. Now you are third generation owner. Now you decide to open your company to the public, isn't it? That means you are now issuing stock first time ever. Therefore, at what price your stock will be selling? You have no idea. So you need professional knowledge and experience. So you hire Merrill Lynch finance team, and you agree to pay 5% off, okay, sale in your service fee. So you end up with what? 95% off, okay? Those are securities sold in the market price, isn't it? So that is called the net proceed. So actual cost of capital estimation should be based on, okay, when you compute this, okay, you have to base your calculation of cost on what? Net proceed, not market price. You know, you should not forget to subtract, okay, protection cost. Now, okay, now with that in mind, okay, let's move on fast. On page 327, let's look at the cost of common equity first. Remember, okay, the way, the order they take on page 327, they pick this one first, most expensive, okay, component first. And now, cost of issuing common stock is the same as what? Cost of issuing common stock should be equal to what?
Dividend divided by price.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you got it, but cost of issuing common stock should be the same as required return on the stock you are issuing, isn't it? Isn't it? Required rate of return and cost of capital, like a head and tail of the same coin. Always remember that, okay? So, this one, cost of common stock, right? It's titled to the cost of common stock. Do you see the subtitle? That is, okay, what is the required return on the stock, isn't it? Look at those equations. 11.2. What is that? Isn't it required return on common stock? Dividend valuation model? Now they call it cost of common stock, isn't it? Because cost of equity is same as required return on equity capital. Therefore, this equation is not new. Okay? We already learned this in previous chapter. So, cost of CS, cost stock is D1 over P, BCS plus G. That's 11.2. If you want to use, okay, CAPM instead of dividend valuation model on the following page, 328. ER, we know that that's the expected rate of return on CAPM, isn't it? Isn't the cost of capital? Required return is the same as cost of capital, isn't it? So you can go by CAPM to estimate cost of capital of this company. You simply call it just cost of equity capital. Now, what about cost of preferred stock? 11.3. KP equal D over BP. What is this? Isn't that required return on preferred stock? isn't it? Now it's called cost of issuing preferred stock. Why? Required rate of return is same as cost of capital. You are borrowing money, sufficing or satisfying whatever required by the other party lender. Okay? What if, okay, back to page 327, 11.2. That constant growth model. D1 over VCS plus G. What if there is some flotation cost? You have to go by VCS or you have to go by NP? You have to go by NP, right? But note that in our textbook, they do not, okay, extend, okay, to cover this thing, right? However, if there are any flotation costs, instead of VCS, you just go by NP. So all you need to do is just replace VCS by NP. Stock price $100, but there is a 5% flotation cost, then NP should be $95, isn't it? Then into this function VCS, instead of entering 100, you just enter 95. Do you understand that? That's all you need. Same thing with the next equation, 11.3, okay? BP, preferred stock. BP is the market price of preferred stock, isn't it? If there are any transaction costs mentioned for this particular preferred stock, again, go by NP. Do you understand? NP is simply this. Price of security divided by, I multiply by 1 minus transaction cost. Okay? Now, so far we learned how we find KCS, how we find KP, right? Now, last one is KD, cost of debt. That is on page 329. You understand? Okay, look at the equation on page 329. What it is? The equation. Don't you think you are familiar with this equation? What is this equation for? Bond valuation equation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? KD used to be YTM, remember? They just replaced YTM by KD. Required rate of return on bond the same as cost of issue. Get that instrument. Okay. So, okay. Okay, for this one, let me see where we have this example here. Okay, yeah. In the middle of page 329, okay, there's a description of this bond issued by this company, RMM. Let's read it. Right under that, okay, bond valuation equation. The problem is to find the KD, that is cost of debt, isn't it? Cost of debt. Such that the equality holds between the left and right side of the equation above. Suppose that, as in Exhibit 11.1, the current price of RMM's bond is 904.53, right? We know that. We are given, right? 904.53. That is the bond price of this company or RMM. The coupon rate is 10%, face value 1,000, and maturity 10 years. Okay? Then can you find YTM using YTM function or yield function?
Yes.
Okay? Yield function or rate function. We already learned in chapter 10, find the rate, or there is a YTM for this bond at 904.53. Go back to chapter 10, where is the rate function for bond. Yield to maturity, YTM. Yield or rate. rate function even in on page 2 for time value money, let's just find the discount, YTM is discount rate. So rate function should be on page 242, you need, okay, change the position of rate and PV, right? You wanna do that? So find the rate using this function. We are trying to find rate involved. That rate is YTM of this bond, 904.53 market price, isn't it? So on page 242, do you see that the rate function, not the rate function, PV function, do you see that? In the summary, table 8.1 on page 242, time value money. Okay? You put rate, you do this, okay? Rate, and open the parenthesis, and then to find the rate, okay, you have to enter what is the correct order, rate. Rate function is on page 226. Rate is NPL, PNT, FB, PV or FB? PV first. PV and FB.
Then type and guess.
And type, and you can ignore those, right? So you need to enter this. So NPL for this one is what?
10.
RNM bond, 10, right? So enter 10. PMT is what?
Payment.
PMT is 100%, I mean 10%. On what is RNM? Go back to RNM bond. RMM bond.
10. Is it what's on 331?
That is what? 10% coupon, isn't it? 10% coupon. So payment should be what?
0.1.
Huh? 10,
Oh,
10% of
10%
base
of what?
value. 100. That one.
It should be 100. Payment is coupon payment, isn't it? 10% coupon is equivalent to how much money?
$100.
$100. Coupon dollars, coupon interest should be coupon rate times always $1,000 par value, isn't it? 100 PMT. Now PV is what? 904.53. Make sure you enter that in negative number. And future value 1,000. And what is the rate? 11.67%. You could verify that, right? Look at the page 329 at the end, 11.67%, isn't it? It is stated 11.67%, isn't it? Right? That is called rate, or that's called YTM. Do you understand? However, 11.67%, okay? Okay, I see. The flotation cost is not mentioned. Okay, 11.67%. So, don't worry about the flotation cost. It's coming later. So we found cost of issuing this particular bond, right? That is 11.67%. So KD is 11.67%. However, that should be of the tax basis. Therefore, make sure you multiply that by 1 minus tax rate. Why after tax basis? Interest you pay, is it tax deductible or not? It is, right? So percentage-wise, yes. You just incur this times 1 minus tax rate. So 40% tax rate here, what is the tax rate assumed here? 40%. So after tax cost of debt should be, find it for me, 11.67% times 11.67%. That is after tax cost of debt. Okay, therefore it's about 7.02%. KD is 11.67%, isn't it?
Yes.
Times 1 minus 0.4. Therefore, after tax. Therefore, that is what? That is 7.07%. That is this. This rectangle is called after tax cost of debt. Okay? Cost of debt should be always after tax basis because interest you pay for that bond is tax deductible, isn't it? Tax deductible means yes, cost wise you actually incur after tax portion. So in a sense, okay, tax rate is like something that will give you some benefit. That is called benefit of tax financing. Okay. So now, after tax cost of debt on page 330, exhibit 11 to everybody. Oops, this one. Let me put this up. Exhibit 11 to okay. Just a little confusing. Okay, this textbook provided annual, they go by exhibit 10, but in our textbook is 11, right? Don't be confused. Exhibit 10 to actually in our book is called 11 to page 331. Copy this one. Copy this. Actually, you can expect you can copy that one. You copy previously, right? And you just add this part, this information. That is exhibit 2. Okay, so we are just adding this additional information on page 331, tax rate 40%, coupon rate 10%, face value 1,000, and 10-year maturity, as shown in table 11.5, right? That has been transferred to this exhibit 10.2, or actually 11.2, right? Don't be confused. In our book, it's exhibit 11.2, right? However, it's shown to be 10.2. It's not, chapter 10, chapter 11 we are in. So this exhibit 10.2, that is actually incorrect, 11.2, okay? So, enter that, and then 11.3 or 10.3. Now let's talk about cost of or estimated cost of preferred stock and cost of common stock. Okay, everybody copy this, or you can expand this, okay, and then make sure you have this in your Excel. And then we are going to verify cell by cell.
Sir, can we take about a 10-minute break real quick, please?
Yeah, finish. Yeah, those who copy this, okay, yeah, you can take a break. Oh, this is solution. Okay. Okay, now, cost of this between C7 times. Now, let's try to find the cost of common stock.
Yeah, I got it.
It is, you entered 3.96 and cost of common stock. That is a 12%, so let me see, is it 12%? Put your cursor in 12%, that is at 12%, that is F4, and then let's see, okay, whether it is 12%. We are entering, instead of a 12, you just entered, we are entering correct formula there. What formula do we have to use? Cost of common stock is this one. Cost of common stock KCS equal E1 over BCS plus G, right? So that's what we are entering. This is the formula we are entering. So where is the D1? D1 divided by BCS. The D1 should be, where is the D0? 3.96, isn't it?
I think this.
Have you all copied this? Okay, we are computing this thing, okay, 12%.
Got it.
Okay, so in this, okay, put your cursor here, F4, and then start entering those input values for this equation. That is the D1. D1 is not given, the D0 is given, isn't it? What is the D1? Isn't the D0 times 1 plus growth rate? Therefore, D0, that is FA times, open the parentheses, 1 plus, what is the growth rate? 6%? That is F9. Okay? And close parentheses, and divide that by what? BCS. Where's the BCS? Start price is here, B4, isn't it? Plus G. Where's the G? G is here at 9. Do you have 12%? Do you have 12%?
Yes.
Okay, you verify that. What about the preferred stock? 10%. Let's verify that. Put your cursor in F3 and then KP equal DP plus VP, isn't it? Preferred stock information, okay, where is the preferred stock information given? Preferred stock dividend is how much for this example?
$10.
Preferred stock, we found yield, and then we found using rate function, then cost of preferred stock. Where do we have a dividend? Dividend for preferred stock is where? Is $10 here? This additional preferred stock data, dividend is $10, right? You see that? So here in cell F3, enter input values for this equation. There is 10 divided by
100.
price 100, is it? Therefore this is B3. There should be 10%, isn't it? You found it, right? And then you just multiply, you just find the WACC, 10.27%. Okay? All right. After tax cost, 7% times ratio, the fraction of this, that is 31.14 plus 10 times 8.61% and 10% times 8.61 and 12%, 0.12 times 6.25%. There is a start portion, right? Therefore, you have 10.27%. Okay, that is WACC now. Now, finally, let's take care of last part of this chapter. That is page 333, flotation cost. I already explained to you how to adjust for this flotation cost. Simply, the only adjustment you need to make is instead of value or market price of those, either bond or preferred stock or common stock, you just enter or plug in what? NP, net proceed, right? You just simply subtract flotation cost given in percentage of market price of security or directly in dollar amount of flotation cost. Okay? So now everybody expand your exhibit 3 to make exhibit 11.4 on page 335. Exhibit 4 or 10 here, this is one. You can expand your 3 to make it 4. This is the last one before we move on to end of the problem. Okay, so do it now. We are adding that information, this information summarized in table 7 on page 334. Everybody look at that, page 334 in table 11.4. Bonds, flotation cost 1%, preferred stock 2%, common stock 5%, is it? Flotation costs are all expressed in percent. Back to you with one question. 1% of what? Flotation cost of bond given in that table 11.7, 1%, right? 1% of what?
The price.
1% of the price, that's right. Okay? Flotation cost expressed in percent. That is percent of market price. Okay? So, okay. You see that? They just inserted one, okay, flotation cost here, right on the dividend information, flotation cost, okay? 2%, and here flotation cost 5% for stock, and flotation cost 1% for bond. Okay? So note that this first two A and B, column A and B, bond, C and D, preferred stock, preferred stock, and the E and F, common stock, right? That's how they enter the information here. You don't have to follow this format, but, okay, to me, it looks very efficient. And then, point of this illustration is for you to verify this. Last column F, 2, 3, 4. So that you have eventually F5, WS is 10.51. That's what you are going to verify now, please. First, 7.1%. Can you verify that? You have to verify 7.1%. Okay, considering what percent cost? 1%, right? So you put your cursor in F2, right? And now you have to enter a formula, right? Which formula I want to enter? Which formula I want to use?
Rate.
Rate. I love that. Okay, you are. Which, very good. I love it. I like it. Rate. Now start entering input values for rate. What I want to enter first? 10 MPL, right? Next, payment. What I want to enter? 100. Or you can, if you want, you can still go through. Okay, face value time. That is what you can perform set operation. B5, B10 times. What is the coupon rate 10%? Yeah, B9 like that. Okay? If you want, or you can directly enter the dollar figure like this, right? Now, next one is PV. This is where you have to be very, very careful. When you compute after-tax cost of debt 7.1%, you said in unison, function should be this rate function, right? Now, we entered this first one, second one. Now, third one, what I want to enter into this? I want to enter 90453. What then? What I want to enter instead? You have to enter
That times the
1% less amount, isn't it? Do you understand? Remember, protection cost is this one. Net proceed is this one. Price of a security, this time is bond, multiply 1 minus protection cost in percent. Therefore, enter this times 0.99. Do you understand? Or you can perform serial operation if you want. That is, okay, on price, that is the B2 times, okay, 1 minus, okay, a cell B12. Same thing. That should be entered as PV, and then last one at least is still same 1,000. And hit return. Do you have 7.10%? No?
yeah, you still do the
You should have 7.10%.
you still
Otherwise,
you have
this
to do
one
the
is wrong.
times.
Hmm?
You have to do the times 1 minus
tax
B8.
rate.
That's right. 1 minus this one.
The B8,
Tax
the
rate.
tax rate, because it's after
Oh,
tax.
I'm sorry. This is after tax base. Okay, yeah. It should be after tax. So 1 minus tax rate. Okay, I confused. I'm sorry. That's 1 minus B8. Cost of debt should be after tax basis. There's only one component. That is cost of debt after tax basis. So that is what you got here is okay before tax portion, is it? And then you further multiply that by 1 minus tax rate, which is in B8. Then you have 7.10%. Huh? Cecilia, you got that? 7.1. Okay, now put your cursor on preferred stock. Do the same. This is easy. Preferred stock formula is what? This KP equal DP over BP, right? However, there is a what percent flotation cost?
2%.
flotation cost 2%. Therefore, you just simply replace this by NP, right? Do you understand? So DP is what? What is the DP? You put cursor here, and the formula should be sale operation. What's the dividend? 10. That is D8, right? DP is $10, isn't it? Dividend for preferred stock, does it change or not? It's like a coupon for bond, right? It's fixed dividend. So 10, that is sale operation, D8 over slash NP. What is NP? Market price is $100. However, by selling one preferred stock, how much do you actually net? $98, isn't it? Because out of $100 you are paid, you have to give up 2% of that, i.e. $2 in production cost. So your actual cost should be estimated based on net dollar amount you actually receive, isn't it? About 98. So this should be, okay, 98. That is sale operation, that is a B3 times, okay, of the parentheses, 1 minus, that is, okay, D9. Then you have 10.2%.
Yes.
Everybody got that? Jessica, you got that? And lastly, this one, common stock. You are using this function. Again, instead of BCS, you use NP, right? That's the only modification you need, right? D1 is D0, that is F8 times 1 plus growth rate, 1 plus B9, isn't it? That is the D1, correct? Over NP. What is NP? That is 70 times, that means B4 times 1 minus F10, correct? 95% you net in. Do you understand? That is NP. Plus G, that is F9. Do you have 12.31%? And lastly, you just find the weighted average of it. How do you do it? This times this, E4. You can use what? Product, what was the name of that new equation? Some product, yeah. Or you can do it one by one. Make sure you got 10.51%. Do you get it? You are all set then to start. This is my end of my lecture for this chapter. Okay. Oh, only one thing. Okay. In other words, you are not responsible for the material from page 336 to the end. Marginal WACC curve. You are not responsible for this. This is too much. Okay. To the end, you are not responsible. And the last equation, 11.4, that is on top of page 336. That is KRE, isn't it? Cost of retained earning. Cost of retained earning. Well, look at the equation 11.4. Isn't the same as KCS? Isn't it? Then why don't they call cost of common stock? Instead they call cost of retained earning. What is retained earnings? What is retained earning? That's one of the questions you answered in exam 1. What is retained earning? What is the retained earning? The balance on your retaining earning, earning statement, right? Then you make net income 100,000, and then you pay cash dividend 40%, 40,000. Then how much left over? 60,000. That should be added to previous balance of retained earning, right? So retained earning is after dividend being paid out, leftover portion of net income, right? That should belong to whom then? Whose money is it? Whose profit is it? Shareholders. Shareholders. Who are the owners of the company?
Shareholder.
Shareholders. That's the owner's money. Right? Whenever a company owned by shareholders take the possibility of a project, they obviously check how much it's going to cost, right? That is to determine total amount of money they need to borrow, isn't it? Before they try to turn to external source of capital like issuing bond, issuing preferred stock, or issuing additional common stock, don't they have to check how much money available internally? Isn't that retained earning? So retained earning is nothing but internal equity capital. So you can write, okay, if you want, right next to that, cost of retained earning is cost of internal equity capital. Okay? So whenever you are using internal equity capital, are you going to say, since I'm using my own money, it's free, cost is 0%? Whenever you are using your own saving, okay, are you going to say cost-wise is free, 0% cost? Instead of depositing or instead of using that money to invest in other company stock at least, you are using it for this particular project for your own company, right? Think of it in terms of opportunity cost, isn't it? Therefore, internal equity capital, common mistake is that, oh, this is free, cost is 0. No, that's absolutely wrong. You have to find cost of that portion of internal equity capital. Internal equity capital, does it involve any flotation cost or not? It's equity capital, all right? But is it issuing new stock or you are using your own saving? Own saving, right? It's just equity capital. So you are using equity capital valuation formula, all right? However, do you need this green NP or not? There's no flotation cost, isn't it? Therefore, this is the right formula. Simply BCS. Do you understand? That's why you have the formula equation 11.4. There's no flotation cost involved, isn't it? Do you understand? So which cost will be higher? Cost of common stock or cost of retained earnings? Which one should be higher? Which one is more expensive money to use?
The other.
Cost of internal or cost of external equity capital? Which one is more costly?
External.
External, because you incur additional cost, flotation cost, right? So look, it becomes evident from this formula. Okay, this is internal equity capital, retained earning. So VCS is $100. I mean, it's $70. Whatever D1 is divided by $70, right? However, in case of issuing common stock, cost of equity capital, you divide D1 by $70 or $68. I mean, $65. Or 5% off is what? 67.5, isn't it? Flotation cost means, okay, $3.50, isn't it? So you net how much? Net proceeds should be 66.5, right? Do you understand? So D1 divided by 70, that is the case of internal equity capital. D1 divided by 66.5, which one will be higher? 66.5, isn't it? So external equity capital is always higher. It's more expensive because of flotation cost. Do you understand? Now the denominator gets smaller because of flotation cost. That means cost-wise higher, isn't it? Do you understand what I'm saying? So again, this is not in our book, but okay, in finance theory, there is a very important theory called pecking order theory. that deals with the correct order of using money. Whatever project company have, they always begin with the tapping how much money available internally. And then as they are exhausted, now they start tapping cheapest one, cheapest external source, that is debt financing, followed by preferred stock, and lastly, most expensive one, common stock. Do you understand? So whenever it is known that in the Wall Street Journal, it is stated that this particular company decided to issue common stock to finance this company, this project. Then what happened to that company stock on that day when the news is released? This company decided to issue, say, stock to raise in total $10 million for this project. Then, if you are a shareholder of the company, how would you feel? Good or bad? Really bad. Why? The company, they don't have any retained earning. Why don't they try cheapest source of capital, cost of debt? Why do they have to rely on most expensive cost of common stock? They must have built too much debt finance in the capital structure. Do you understand? That's why it's bad news. Whenever a company announces that they are issuing stock, their stock price fall. Do you understand? Also take this way. Stock is announced that more stock will be issued. You are one of those shareholders, existing shareholder. Whatever profit you expect to make, or you expect your company makes, that profit is going to be shared by same number of people or larger number of people. This company, your company issuing additional stock, that means what? You have to welcome new influx of the new shareholders, isn't it? Unless size of profit increase, yes, your pie is going to be reduced, isn't it? Stock price declining. Do you understand? I'm talking about kind of those informational economics in finance. Okay, it's called. Let me stop getting into that too much. Okay, so we can get into more and more details of the more interesting topic, but we are going to stop here. In other words, so far we learned how to find a proportion of those three components: debt, preferred stock, and common stock. Combining them into one called WACC. Okay, we want to know that the first component, debt, should be after tax basis because interest paid on bond you issue is tax deductible. Therefore, cost-wise, it should be after tax basis. Right? And then using rate of return formula, we learned in previous chapter, stock valuation, bond valuation, preferred stock valuation. Okay, using that same formula, we just calculated cost. Cost, capital, and required return, same thing. Right? Only modification you need for calculation cost, instead of rate of return, you have to go by NP instead of price. Come to your sense? That's already learned. This chapter is not that complicated. Okay? Very simple. Okay, now everybody turn to problem number 1. Problem number 1. I'm going to find, to help you, a solution to that. Okay.
Excuse me. Okay, here, copy this one. Okay, this is the answer to problem number 1 on page 342. I told you the marginal cost of capital schedule, okay? You don't have to worry about that. So,
Can you make it
Oh,
bigger?
it's already there? It's not needed? It's irrelevant thing?
You gotta make B bigger. The column,
B as in
B.
boy.
Oh, B.
yeah.
Yeah, this one, right? It didn't work. Oh, okay, okay. Good. All right, now, everybody copy this. Copy this first, and then let's read the question, and then we go over one by one. And as you anticipated, I guess, okay, problem number 2 is again optional. 20 points, homework. It's only optional. In case you don't need the additional point, don't worry about that. I know you are, okay? Study hard, so I reward you for your effort. So that's most I can offer to you. So why don't you, okay? You learn problem number 1, and you can easily do number 2 at home on your own. Can you not? Do it, and then submit it for 20 points. I'm going to open Dropbox again. Additional point problem, chapter 11, like I did for chapter 10. Alright, you don't have to worry about the MCC chart, okay? Now, everybody turn back to page 342, problem number 1. Let's make sure that we understand what those questions are, alright? Okay, problem number 1 on page 342. Alright, are you ready to read? Chen Chocolate Company's earning per share in 2016 was $1.25, and in 2011 it was 0.75. 5 years ago it was at 75 cents. 5 years after, that is 2016, that is $1.25 earning per share. The company's payout ratio, 50%. Now they pay in dividend half of the earning they make, right? That's minimum payout ratio. Then retention ratio also 50%. And the stock is currently valued at 37.75. Flotation cost for new equity, 15%. Net income in 2017 is expected to be $18 million. Net income, okay, or earnings next year, 2017, is expected to be 18 million. Now, next question, next information. The company's investment banker estimate that it could sell 10-year semi-annual bonds with a coupon rate 5%. They must have been in consultation with this investment banking firm, right? To discuss how to raise money for a project they are planning to implement, right? That information is not given, right? But they just must have consulted with investment banking firm who advised that if you issue bond, you can sell 10-year semi-annual coupon bond attaching 5% coupon, face value also standardized at $1,000, but present cost for issuing bond that way is 1%, right? It's given there. The market value weights of the firm's debt and equity, preferred stock is not involved here, right? Only two components, debt and equity, isn't it? So debt is 25% and remaining 3/4, 75% equity components, respectively. The firms face 35% tax rate. These informations are summarized in column B. Do you see them? Everybody look at yours. Spreadsheet one more time. Let's start from the top. EPS 2011. 75, 2016, $1.25. It's just okay. Summarized, okay, in order of kind of presentation.
payout ratio 50%, stock price 37.75, present cost equity 50%, net income 18 million, bond face value 1,000, coupon rate 5, bond terms maturity 10%, 10-year, and payment frequency semi-annual, right? Therefore 2. You understand this, right? And flotation cost for bond is 10%, tax rate 35%. And skipping one row, now capital structure, debt is 25%, equity 75%. Okay? That is optimum capital structure. Even though it is not said to be optimum, we are computing WACC following this 0.25 and 1 minus 0.25, i.e. 0.75 as WD and WE, right? WD or WCS, correct? And after tax cost of debt is 3.33%. Where is it given? Is it given? No, it is not, right? It must have been calculated somehow. Earning per growth rate, these are to be calculated. So let's, read the question asked one by one. A, everybody? A, based on the 5-year track record, what is this firm Chan's earning per share growth rate? What do we need growth rate for? Growth rate is not given, right? So you have to compute. My question to you is, what do you need the growth rate for? Why do you need to compute growth rate? Huh?
Get after tax cost.
After tax cost? After tax cost, do you need growth rate to compute after tax cost of debt?
The dividend.
Yes.
You need the growth rate to compute cost of which component?
ACS.
Name those 3 components in capital structure. They are debt, bond, preferred stock, common stock, right? In this question, no preferred stock, right? Only 2 components, debt and equity, right? My question to you now, what do you need this growth rate for?
Equity.
To compute cost of which component?
Equity.